A whole lot of dirt racing news to cover today, including Longhorn and Riggs Motorsports announcing their next driver and crew chief. The World of Outlaws late models have a 2025 schedule, plus series and driver confirmations and plenty more. Let's go. It's Thursday, November 7th. I'm Justin Fiedler. This is DIRTRACKR Daily presented by Kubota Genuine Parts. Two things right off the top today. First, if you use the streaming schedule at DIRTRACKR.com, you have my mom to thank for that. She does all of the updating there, and today is her birthday. So happy birthday, Mom. And before we dive in, a quick word from today's show sponsor. Today's daily show is being supported by the free Upside app. We are not that far away from the holiday season, and during this time of year, things can get expensive quick. But to help, I've got a way you can get real cash back on things you buy every single day. With the Upside app, you can earn cash back on daily essentials like gas, groceries, and eating out at over 100,000 locations. And it's brands you recognize: Shell, Circle K, 7-Eleven, Love's, Casey's, Taco Bell, Papa John's, Chipotle, and many more. When you want to take advantage of an offer, you just claim it in the app, make your purchase with a credit or debit card, and follow the steps. You'll get cash back you can deposit right into your bank account. Just last week, I cashed out for $15.27, all of that earned on recent gas fill-ups. And that's nothing. Top Upside earners are making as much as $300 a month. To find out how much you could earn, click the link in the description to download Upside and use code DIRTRACKR to get an extra 25 cents back for every gallon on your first tank of gas, or scan the QR code on the screen to claim the offer. Thanks to Upside for their support of the show. World Finals at Charlotte off and running last night with qualifying. Rain did spoil a few sessions, so those will be completed on Friday before that regular show gets going. Today, Friday, and Saturday's regular schedule start with heats and run through features for all three divisions. The weather forecasts have improved, so that's good news. We've got 158 cars signed in, 45 sprint cars, 66 late models, 47 modifieds. Remember, we are watching all three championship battles, with David Gravel close to locking up the sprint car fight over Carson Macedo. Late model championship, a bit tighter between Brandon Sheppard, Bobby Pierce, and Nick Hoffman. And then the closest is the Super DIRTRACKR Series between Matt Sheppard and Matt Williamson. Around this week, though, plenty of news breaking, with a lot happening just in the last 24 hours. One of those stories being the confirmation of the new Longhorn factory team and Riggs Motorsports driver and crew chief. Brandon Sheppard is departing this car after World Finals, which we've known for some time. Starting at the Gateway Dirt Nationals in December, Brandon Overton will take over this ride, and Anthony Burroughs has moved over from SSI Motorsports to crew chief. Overton, fresh off that Hunt the Front Super Dirt Series championship, ends a multi-year run with Wells Motorsports where he had a ton of success. Wells had actually been a Longhorn team and a dealer before this season when they started campaigning their own Wells Infinity chassis. So Overton, very familiar here with these race cars. The Riggs crew will be rounded out by Justin Tharp, who's joining from SSI, and Ryder Cantillo. This will be a return to a national tour for Overton, who was a Lucas full-timer in 2023, but no decision has yet been announced on which one they will choose, whether Outlaws or Lucas. This team, obviously a full-time World of Outlaws car in 2024, but they are supposedly exploring both options. And I was actually at Longhorn yesterday. I'm sure some of you have seen the photos. There will be an announcement video released soon where I got to speak with everybody involved, including Overton and Burroughs. So check that out. It should be out on the Longhorn Facebook page, potentially the YouTube or the DIRTRACKR YouTube channel today. So stick around for that. But with all of the resources they will have at their disposal, I think this could be an incredibly potent pairing for next season. I think dirt late model racing is just a much more fun place to be when Overton is running up front. We're still waiting on an announcement for Brandon Sheppard's post-Longhorn house car situation, but signs continue to point towards a return to Rocket. Also yesterday, we got a look at the 2025 World of Outlaws Late Model Series schedule. 57 races. They're going to start again with 2 weeks at Volusia and at World Finals in November. 32 tracks and a point fund now over $1 million. And it feels like that's really the big news here. That point fund being up 20% from 2024. The champion's now going to take home $225,000. Plus, all standard shows for the Outlaws now pay at least $12,000 to win. And there are a bunch of other purse increases, including the USA Nationals now paying $100,000 to win. There are some changes through the year, but nothing that super alters what we've gotten traditionally from the World of Outlaws late models. All the favorites are there: the Line 100, the Dairyland Showdown, the Go for 50, PDC, USA Nationals, all of that's there. If you'd like to peruse the schedule yourself, it's available over at worldofoutlaws.com. The Outlaws also yesterday confirmed that Nick Hoffman and the Tuareg team will return to full-time competition in 2025. Hoffman enters World Finals in the thick of that championship battle and has really stayed in the fight all year with two of the sport's best right now in Shepard and Pierce. 5 wins, 18 top 5s, 28 top 10s in series competition, and multiple wins elsewhere have really established Hoffman as a serious late model contender after so many years of him dominating UMP modified racing. He's shown the speed and he's had that, those periods of consistency that he's really going to need to continue to contend for titles. And I think a small step forward next year could really put him in the fight yet again. We also got confirmation of something I mentioned on the show yesterday, and that's the new part-time home for Chris Madden. As expected, he's going to run next season with GR Smith and the Team 22 guys. No particular schedule or number of races was discussed. They're not going to run a national tour, but they are going to run with the Flow Series at Sonoya and the Blue Gray 100 at Cherokee coming up after World Finals. They also mentioned some Florida racing and Eldora shows next year. An announcement on a driver to replace Max McLaughlin in the full-time car is also coming soon, and it's likely that a young driver on the rise is getting the shot there. We don't yet know where McLaughlin is headed for next season, but it sounds like he will remain a late model driver, and he's got some sponsorship to bring with him to his new deal. On the sprint car side, no lack of announcements there either. We did get the news that Huset and Jackson will be back on the World of Outlaws schedule next year. Not shocking. We knew it wasn't on the high limit schedule, so the only other place it was going to be was here. But plenty of big money on the line at Huset's again, and Jackson back for 2 dates. Huset's weekly racing will also return to Dirt Vision next year as well. This all comes after chatter pointed towards Todd Curring having discussions with Flow Racing and High Limit about his properties for 2025, but ultimately Brian Carter, the Outlaws and World Racing Group, putting a deal together here to keep all of this on their side. And this won't be the last time that promoters and tracks try and use the fact that there are now 2 national sprint car series to get the best deal possible for their facilities. I had thought with this announcement and the late model schedule being released that maybe the sprint car slate was soon to follow, but I'm told we may have to wait a little while longer to get that piece of the puzzle. And right alongside the Husets and Jackson confirmations, we also now know that David Gravel will indeed return as a full-time driver with the Outlaws next season. Gravel, seemingly headed for his first championship, had kind of been in the rumor mill as maybe an outside chance at a series swap to High Limit. Even trolled social media this week, sharing a photo of himself and Brad Sweet. But no such move is happening. Like we talked about earlier this week, Gravel will be back in 2025 to likely defend his title. He joins Cole Macedo as the only confirmed driver so far for the Outlaws, but we know others are probably back as well. I think you can include Carson Macedo, the JJR 41. And nothing should change either for Sheldon Haudenschild and the NOS 17 team. SJM Cohn or Jennifer Marshall tweeted a few weeks ago that no team shakeup was coming for 2025 and that they would be back with the Outlaws. So as long as things stay status quo with TSR and Donnie Schatz, I think the core of the Outlaw stars will all be back next season. If you want racing elsewhere coming up over the next couple of days, your option's pretty small. The USMTS finale was already canceled. I think I saw there's a Southern All-Stars late model race, and you've got the USAC CRA finale at Paris. Other than that, though, most of the attention over the next few days will be on Charlotte. That's DIRTRACKR Daily for this week. We are tracking a lot of other stories, including potentially more sprint car changes coming, especially on the regional side. There's more late model silly season stuff to figure out. So stick with us as we move towards the off season. Hit that subscribe button on YouTube or podcast places, and make sure to follow DIRTRACKR on Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram for more. Hope you guys have a great Thursday and a great weekend out there. We'll see you right back here on Sunday.